Welcome along to today's Dream Team session, brought to you by the Sir Peter Blake Trust. These sessions feature inspiring Kiwis who want to encourage Kiwi kids to follow their dreams and make them happen. Today I am delighted to have Jerome Kaino in the studio. Now Jerome is the gladiator of the Blues team, a leader by deeds rather than words. He's an All Black regular and key contributor to their back-to-back World Cup victories, now approaching 80 caps. He's also part of the leadership team for the All Blacks and the Blues. Hello Jerome, thanks for coming in today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So was it always your dream to be a professional rugby player and to be an All Black?
Well, when I started to take rugby seriously, it did become a dream. But earlier on, when I was, earlier on in the teens, I played all sorts of sports: athletics, rugby league, volleyball, and I think my number one passion when I was younger was basketball. All my friends played it; everyone in the neighbourhood played it.
And you're nice and tall, so that would work.
Yeah, and that helped. And it came into the era when Michael Jordan was, running everything. So I think basketball was my number one. But later on in high school, when I took rugby seriously, All Blacks came into the picture.
You make it sound like it just sort of happened accidentally. And then I became an All Black. Imagine there was a lot of hard work along the way.
Yeah, very much so.
What advice would you have for teenagers that are, that are thinking that a career as a professional athlete might be for them? What would you tell them? What advice could you give them?
I think the number one for me, and what we find within the All Blacks, is just to find a passion. Whatever it is, if it's a sport or academics or any type of profession, just make sure you're passionate about it, because if you find something you're passionate about, you won't struggle to work hard to achieve those goals, and the early mornings aren't a drag. So the little things that you have to sacrifice if you're passionate about something, you're willing to give up anything to achieve it.
And that's that old saying: if you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life, isn't it? If you could talk to yourself as a teenager, what advice would you give yourself?
If I were to talk to my teenage self, I would say, don't be afraid to branch out. I was quite safe when I was younger. I didn't really, wasn't comfortable being felt vulnerable. I wasn't the first one to put my hand up in class or even just ask a silly question. I was quite safe, but looking back, I'd tell myself just that don't worry about what other people think. Just put yourself out there, and you'll learn a lot more that way.
Were you a good kid?
I was, I wouldn't say I was bad. I was like a class clown. I never got into trouble. Yeah.
Okay, that's good advice. Push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Now, you're part of the leadership group with the Blues, and you've been going through a bit of a culture change over the last couple of seasons. Yeah. What's been the aim of that, and how have you gone about achieving it? Yeah,
we're in a different situation to the other teams in New Zealand, where Hamilton, Dunedin, Christchurch and Wellington, to some extent, where they're all close together, and and it makes it easier for them to build that team culture, because it's not, you don't have to travel that far to get tight. And for us, we're all spread out, and I think Tana and the coaching staff have really created a really good culture within our team, that we're trying to build a winning culture, and it's all about the mindsets that we have, how people live day to day in our working environment, and it's all leading towards guys being driven and living that winning culture through actions every day whenever we come into the environment.
Is it easy to take all the players along with you on that path, or has it been a little bit tricky at times?
I think it's easy once you show the players why you're changing it and why we're doing things. Once they see the final, your vision and what you want to achieve, I think it's easier that way to bring the guys along. But you get different characters in the team, and guys get motivated through different things. I don't think you have one formula for everyone. I think you try and bring guys along through their motivations and how they get driven. So I think it's on an individual basis, but if you show them the vision where you want to take the team or where you want to take our club, that makes things a lot easier.
We sometimes see sports people in the news for all the wrong reasons. Perhaps they've had a night out and drunk a lot of alcohol. What's your approach to alcohol and how it impacts you as a sports person?
Yeah, I think nowadays a lot of the teams and also individually, guys are getting smarter with how they approach alcohol. One, it doesn't really improve your performance.
It's not going to help the game, is it?
No, it doesn't help you individually and also as the team. But I think with social media these days, and kids are growing up with cameras on every phone, and with a lot of the Twitter, Instagram, everyone's under the microscope, and I think it's important for everyone to get educated on how to respect alcohol. And you know, for us in the Blues and the All Blacks, we're mindful that we are role models to everyone that sees us, and if we're doing it in a positive way, then I hope everyone else learns from it. But for us, it's making sure that we educate ourselves and making sure that we're living it when we're out there in the public eye.
Hey, just quickly, just finally, when you play, you're on a national stage or even an international stage, and winning must feel incredible. But how do you cope with the times when you're not winning?
Yeah, it is tough for you know, those losses. When you lose, it is tough. But I've got a different spin on winning and losing. I think when I lose, it's easier to bounce back. I always want to get back on the track and improve. When you lose, you always look at what you can do better. But I learnt this from our mental skills guru, Gilbert Enoka in the All Blacks. He said that success is a bad teacher. Sometimes when everything goes your way and when you're winning, it's easier to take those shortcuts and to miss the things that you would normally do if things weren't going right. So you know, for us, it's when you lose, it's easy to bounce back and you really want to get up there and improve. But when things are going all you know, well and positive, that's when you really get tested. If you do the 1% of things that really make you a successful team or a successful individual.
That's great advice. Don't become complacent and learn from your mistakes. Thank you so much, Jerome. It's been wonderful talking to you today.
Thanks, Sam.
All right, for our viewers at school and at home, it's your turn to share your dreams, both for yourself and also for New Zealand. So go to dreambank.co.nz and you could win some great prizes too. Remember, writing down your dream is the very first step towards achieving it. And remember to check out our other Dream Team sessions with incredible Kiwis at serpeterblanktrust.org.